So, welcome you all to this webinar, Wednesday webinar, wherein we will have empathetic practices to have a miraculous mindset. Do you believe about that? Like, say, how an empathetic mind can be miraculous? Because it fetches you friendship, right? And you will form infallible bonding with your teammates and your friends and everybody around, which will give you the strength, the trust, the faith, the admiration, the respect to get ahead with your whatever dream and vision you have. You all might be agreeing that if you have a huge vision, a purpose bigger than you, then you need a team to make that dream true. It is not possible alone. So, how to do that bonding? You don't have to be very goody goody with your friends and teammates, your family members, or whoever you are very close to. But if you have a heart that thinks and speaks about your emotions as well, and cares and respects your qualities, your superpowers to forward his own dream, then nothing like it. So let us start with the screen as to how we can do that. So this is 3 secret tools with an empathetic mindset that brings in miraculous clarity, fulfillment, and accelerated growth. The basic with which we can face the world and achieve our vision and our dream. Who this is for? People who are stuck and feeling unfulfilled, and also for the leaders who are looking for achieving a big vision. So, what do you think when you are stuck? You think that you don't have much reward, expertise, salary raise, promotion, opportunity recognition, and incentive, and you are lacking in leadership growth. Much more than that, even if all these are there in your life, you will feel that somebody else is getting more, and that you are not enough as you. So that is you feel. So that is how I find out and how I approach you that you are stuck. And what are the mindset of a person who is stuck? Person is basically stuck with at 3 fronts. One is because of self perception about I'm not enough and somebody else is better than me, and that I cannot do whatever I am dreaming for. That is the first perception we have. Perception by people. Because of that lack inside us, always we will see that people are comparing with us with somebody else. People will be comparing, but what is their perception about you, particularly you? You will not see that they are looking at you in awe. They are appreciating your good qualities, because might be there is comparison. There might be comparison wherein the plus and the minus, plus and negative, both these things might be there, which will be like, say, in your mind it will be like, so like, say, the you in your mind it is weighing like much more than the positive statements that you are getting. And the third thing is perception by posterity, how you are going to be remembered by posterity. What will people read in your obituary when you are dead? How people will talk about you? So these are the things are going on inside your mind. Most of the time, what I have seen is people bother about the first two and bother less about the last one. So if you just start by thinking that how people are going to remember me, then you have to write down something. Suppose I feel that I am not enough. Are you going to be remembered as somebody who was never enough? You would obviously know. You would like people to remember you as a person who achieved lot, who was helpful, who was like say respectable, who had a lot of knowledge in some aspect or one more than one aspect. That is what you are going to be remembered as. So if you are going to be remembered as that, you have to be the same person today or better, right? So in these aspects, you are not clear right now, which is why even if you have achieved a lot, you are feeling stuck and unfulfilled, obviously, because you don't have clarity, right? So my solution is what? My solution is resourceful influencing. And what is it? Being resourcefulness, everybody knows, understands what is being resourceful. It is like say when you have very scarce resources, you don't have much. You don't have HR, you don't have budget. These are the two main aspects, no? And also if you don't have time. So time also is a resource. Even then, you are able to manage to achieve much more than what other people can't. So you should not be comparing yourself like that. You can say that whatever you have achieved, say in the last project or in your last assignment, now you are able to achieve more. So competition against yourself because you are raising your own bar. That is what resourcefulness is. So each time whatever resources you at your disposal are, you can utilize that and achieve a solution. People will be thinking how he is achieving so much while there is nothing. For others, the resources are not visible to you because you are a resourceful person. e- Everything is a resource, everything is an opportunity. That is how you differentiate yourself. And being resourceful under multiple circumstances is influencing. So when you, if you are resourceful, you are achieving all the time. You did well in the last assignment, you did well in this assignment. You are very hopeful and optimistic about another assignment, which is equally challenging. Still, you are the first person to go for that assignment. You are the first person who is always going for that challenging task. How people will think about it? People will be impressed by your courage, right? If that is so, then you are influencing. They are admiring you, and whatever you say, that influences them. So that is what is resourceful influencing is. When you influence people, you become powerful, and when you become powerful, you you become an influencer yourself. So in the COVID times, it has been proven that a resourceful person wins recognition and growth. It was not the IIM and IITs which were recognized during that time. Actually, those people were laid off that time. People lost job who were vice president, senior management people. But people who were in the management level, they actually were retained because that is how when there is an emergency, those people will deliver. Those people will take charge. That is what resourcefulness is. No strategy is going to work in an emergency situation unless you are resourceful. So that person wins recognition and growth now or sometime tomorrow. But those are the people, all the people, no matter how many people you examine, those people all were resourceful. And the resourcefulness creates resilience because you are enthusiastic about your work, about your assignment, about your vision. You are always optimistic. Because you are optimistic, you never give up. Because you never give up, that is how you keep on achieving. Small, big, whatever, whatever is your enterprise is, you keep on achieving. That is how you create resilience. People will think that you are very resilient and very impossible task also. But within you, you are enjoying your work. And resilience overcomes frequent struggles. What is struggle for others? it is enjoyable work for you. And when in struggle, when people think that this might be a very huge challenge, you are achieving. When people are not able to achieve, not able to function, not able to start, you are the person who is achieving, who is reaching the finish line, who is winning the race. So your relevance is established. And staying relevant without feeling burnt out is the trick to reach beyond. How do you recognize a person who has huge potential? If you examine that person, if you don't think that you are the person, then examine those huge potential person, whoever you admire. You will see that those people are like going on persevering and achieving. Small, big, anything, but they are achieving all the time and they are not feeling burnt out. That is the trick when actually you will cross a threshold of your resilience and reach beyond. It is like, say, the rocket. Right? When a rocket is launched, what happens? It starts very slow because it struggles against the gravity. And once it is gone beyond the gravitational pull, it escapes and it travels at a tremendous speed. So that is the struggle you have to withhold till that time. And then once you are through with that pull, of course, it requires a lot of push and struggle. So once that 120 kilometer per second threshold is achieved, you are gone to the orbit and you are independent, you are free, right? So that is how you reach beyond. So you compare yourself to a rocket, a launching rocket, which is now might be struggling. But if you are struggling enough, you will overcome that 120 kilometer per second mark soon. So that is the trick, that is the mantra. Now the influence part that I was talking about, it starts, if you look from the bottom up, uniqueness differentiates you. The first uniqueness is the way you persevere. You don't give up at any moment of time. That is the first uniqueness. No matter how much talented other people will be, if you have this single thing, single quality, nobody can reach even anywhere near you, even anywhere near you. Why? Why? Because it takes lot inside you. You have to be very strong, convincing heart. You are very passionate about whatever you are doing. So you have to have that passion. So you have to find out that passion. That is what your uniqueness is. The first thing is simply you just talk to me about all that you like and we figure out what your passion is. Once your passion is figured out, then no stopping you. You will go on doing the same thing. You will not look at this fellow, that fellow, no comparison. You are on your path, right? And when you are influencing, you are not working for only yourself. You are also empowering people around you. You always are thinking win-win for other people also. That is what benevolence is, and that is how you are admired and respected. And because you are resilient, over a period of time, you establish your credibility that you are the expert, the go-to person. This is the person who not only achieves his her milestone, he also helps others to build their credibility as well. So that is how when you establish your credibility factor and start influencing. That is when, without doing anything to influence directly, your work, your attitude, the way you carry yourself, it will automatically influence other people. You just have to focus on what you are doing, love what you are doing, or do whatever you love. That is what you need to identify. And once you influence, once you are credible, everybody knows you that you are an expert, you love doing this kind of work, then you stand out amongst a crowd. Even though there are 1,000 managers at the same level as you are the one person who will be standing out with your resilience. So that is the influence path that I talk about. And three secrets of resourcefulness is, as already I have discussed, first thing is reality check. You do a reality check. You cannot just copy somebody else because the other person is doing something he loves. You may not love what he loves or she loves. You might be loving something else. Whatever is that love of yours, we need to find out that. And how do we find out? There is a whole bunch of exercises that we will be doing in this course when you will be learning who you are as a unique person. Your uniqueness you will know. So that is about managing self. Unless you manage yourself, like say somebody will tell you something like you are like this, then you accept like that. You are not that person. Huh? The other person, whoever looks at you, they only will know part of you. They cannot know 100% of you. The only person who knows you is you. And so when you are not disciplined within yourself, then your thoughts are going here, there, and you are spread out person, dispersed person. You are not like gathering yourself and going forward. So that is what I call as managing self. Managing people is as soon as you are resilient, people will start respecting you. That is how you manage. Before that, people will say many things about you. They will comment like say, he is like that, he is like that. But is that any of that is true? No. 90% of that is not true. You know yourself only what is true. And what influences people is like when you are focused on yourself, focused on doing what you love. That is the best way to manage people. And managing time is, unless you are racing against yourself, unless you have given yourself a goal, a certain specific smart goal, you will not achieve what needs to be achieved right now. Because your dream is big, the vision is big, the vision has to be big. And that vision will be achieved someday if your goal, your smart goal is achieved today. It is not going to be achieved instantly. Any goal that is achieved instantly is not a goal. The goal should be challenging you, and you have to progressively approaching that goal. Give yourself 90 days, anywhere between 90 days to 1 year to achieve that goal, which will give you some kind of recognition. You decide that for yourself. Then your personality and your habit, your mindset, all these are very important. We have learned just now. Now, these four factors, attitude, habit, action, and perception, if you closely examine yourself, why are you feeling the way you are feeling today? Are you feeling happy? There must be a reason why you are feeling happy. Because somebody has told something good about you. Are you feeling bad today? Somewhat sad today? That means somebody must have told you something bad. Now, why the other person has told you any bad or good? Because he or she felt that you are that way. But you are not that person, bhai. You are not that person. What that person has perceived you is not you. So, or vice versa also is true. The way you perceive the other person is also not true. So why bother about the other person? While you are the person, you need to take care of yourself. Just be bothered about yourself. And what the other person says or has told you or acted in a certain way, don't allocate an intention behind that. If you don't allocate, like say, why he has to, then you assign some reason to that. If you stop assigning that reason, then what happens is the other person's action is just action. It has come and it has gone. It is in the past. Even if it has happened just half an hour back, half an hour is past. It is not present. Nothing to do with you. You have heard that. Don't carry whatever has happened to you. So all these are mindset issues. If you learn this, that the whatever has happened, it has happened, and it has nothing to do with your right now. You right now, at this moment, you are free from all that. You are free to take a fresh perspective, right? And in the perception area, why I say perception means, I'll tell you a story. There were two people. One person was very agitated against his boss, and he resigned. He resigned and joined some other company. So after 10 years, both of them met some at some other city. So because after so much of time they have been meeting, they were having a cup of coffee together. And then they started talking about the past days that they were together. Then in the course of the discussion, this person who was junior, he just started referring to something happened in the past. He said, because of you, I resigned. You know, you did this something. The other person was surprised. He said, did I do that to you? I don't remember. And if I have done that, I'm so sorry about that because I caused you so much of trouble. Now, this that he was asking for forgiveness, he could have asked 10 years back also. What the junior person didn't do was, he perceived the other person as a very strong headed person, a person who doesn't forgive, and all those who were going on inside his mind, and he was so very wrong in his perception about the other person. What is the solution? Whenever you have a conflict with somebody, if your mind is not darkened by all these perception, all these thoughts, just go invite that person to a coffee. Ask that person, say, ask that person to have a coffee together and say, I felt bad about what you said just now, or whatever you told me 1 year back, 1 hour back. So you should give a chance to the other person to explain. Might be it will be resolved then and there. You don't have to take this to carry this to no for years, right? That is why I say perception is might be wrong, and it is wrong 90% of time. So from now onwards, if you give yourself a chance to give another person a chance to explain to yourself, you also take that chance for yourself. If you can perceive the other person is troubled by some of your action, then lot of trouble can be saved. Now, that the person who was troubled was a reality. But if he wouldn't have been troubled and he would have given a chance to his boss, that also would have been a reality, right? So, which way you are thinking is a reality. Perception is such a powerful thing. Because of your perception, you do right or wrong action. And if you are doing good action, you become dependable. And persistent actions create habits. And with habit, your attitude is formed. And that is how your personality is. And this is what market value will be. Characteristic of a resourceful mindset is, these are the four things: existing opportunity, you realize, you find out, you can discern, you can recognize all the existing opportunity. Ongoing difficulties. Difficulties you accept that these are the difficulties are there. You cannot do anything about it. Don't bother. If you can do anything about it, then do something, right? Who stops you? And recognize your strengths and weaknesses and recognize the strength and weaknesses of your team members or the people in the surrounding. That will give you the right perspective to how the strategy as to how to go forward. Somewhere you are weak, then take help of the other person and support the other person where that person is weak. This is how you will form a very good team. And if there's a lot to be done and you are clueless about how to get this done, then see where a similar kind of things has already been done. So what happens is somebody who has already done this, you mentor, you may take, or within your organization also, there will be several people like that. Or even if it is not in the organization, you look around, you'll find a lot of people like that who have overcome similar situations. And your action points of a resourceful person is you observe, reflect, rectify, tweak. Observe the situation, reflect why has it happened, what is plus, what is minus, and rectify what has been mistaken, what wrong has been done, and tweak a bit. All these situations will not be the same, so tweak a bit according to this situation. So if you have deep thought process, deep insight, deep dwelling, then this tweaking will be easier for you. And how do you remember whatever you have done last time? Is journal them regularly, note in your diary, because those small things will be forgotten over time because those are very small things. Tweaking are very small things. Like say it is like say playing a cricket stroke, you know. Just you tweak the angle a bit, it goes for a six. Tweak another way, it is a catch. Tweak this way, the ball goes behind the stumps. Tweak another way, it goes straight right. No? So life is like this only. Tweaking a bit and the result will be very different. So that is how you create your daily ways. That will give you many things to do because you know you have four choices right now. If you tweak the angle, it will be this results. Now you will experiment. If something doesn't work, has gone for a catch, you can just tweak a bit to make it a six. My big story. So far, I have trained 18,000 professionals to impact 1 crore lives since 2008. And the most important thing is whoever I have trained, they are the leaders nowadays. They are not dependent on anybody. And whoever I have trained so far, I have found two skills in them, at least two skills. There are more than two. If I work closely with somebody, definitely I'm going to find more than two skills. Why I'm doing this? Because I have seen that people who are stuck are normally innovators, original thinkers who are looking for breakthroughs, but they are not getting a perfect environment. They are not getting the support they should get to go ahead with their progress because they are original thinkers, out of box thinkers. Nobody else will support them also because this is something new they are trying, right? So I am trying to help those people so that if I can say train 1 lakh people like that, then I'll create 1 lakh path for the whole world to follow. Then who will create trouble for these people? And obviously these people will have those kind of. Right now, if I talk to somebody, when I talk to people, even working professional who are stuck, they think that I'm talking absurd. They doubt. So So, is this the way? Is this only the thing that they say? But what else is the thing? They are not able to tell me. What else is the thing? If this is not the thing, what else is the thing? It is about having constant, consistent positivity. That is how you become creative, and that is the only way which will make you become more. What else is the way? Tell me, if there is any other way. So I have my titles value, six core values, code of honor, which I follow, which will take the entire world to peace, green, and abundance mission. That is my mission, my vision. It is a huge mission, but if I can tell, I can train people like that, and it will be vision, mission accomplished. It will not be easy. People will not be convinced. I don't care. So my mission is impact 1 billion lives with 1 lakh super performing global players in 139 countries with multi-billion dollar enterprise. So where from I'll find this 1 lakh super performing global players? These are very distinguished people. I know. And they might not be available within my country alone. So I have kept myself a larger window of 139 countries. And I'm going to find similar kind of mindset as me. Those people will be super performing global players. What I have done so far has been kind of consistently and very disciplined way, very strategically executed things. And if somebody, and I have seen the people whom I have followed, they have done similar things as well, but they are very few. If I can train 1 lakh people, it will be force, it will be movement. So that is my mission. And my system is Resourceful Influencer Club. The community will be called Resourceful Influencers Club, where people will come, they will forge partnership within that, and they will form further peace, green, and abundance paths for other people to follow. My first experience of resourcefulness is I did a HR policy design in a workshop where, without being an HR person. So I formulated a HR policy for of my organization and presented out there. Then and there within 4 hours time. So that was appreciated by the big companies, those were participating. And after 2 years, when I applied in that big company, they selected me on the basis of this performance that I had given 2 years earlier, because they could see the way I, like say, persevered within myself to find out a suitable HR policy for my organization. That was the first instance of resourcefulness I experienced. So why people are stuck? Why people cannot be, are not becoming the same way as I am? Because people are stuck. People are stagnant, and they are dissatisfied. They lack clarity. And what is the reason? Industry data says it is salary, relationship with boss, work conditions, supervision, micromanagement, relationship with peers. And people who are stuck, who are not going anywhere, the more the senior people, the greater time they take to find another opportunity. Till they are there 3 to 5 years in the same company, they are operating at 20% productivity level, which means they are operating just at 20%. Operating at 20% and thinking that you will be achieving greatness is just like say absurd thing, right? So 5 years of time, 5 years of their lives, they waste operating at 20% productivity. How does then they will help? They will think, or they will aspire to become unstuck, or how can they think of accelerated growth while their own performance level is at 20%? So I did a market research as to whether this is the reason. Why I started with market research is These were not exactly my reasons. Still, I felt to be stuck. Then I found out the exact reasons. The reasons are in the left hand side, the professional reasons, which people say that these are the reasons why working professionals get stuck. And towards the right are the other reasons away from the workplace within the personality, which are the reasons why, which makes them unproductive. And the example that I was giving, that you perceive something, you perceive negatively, and don't give a chance to the other person to explain to you, and you waste 10 years of your time in negativity about that person while you were into a good job, but you still at the back of your mind you were harboring all the negative thoughts about this person. Anything negative going on inside your mind is a burden. You are thinking about problems, you are not thinking 100% about solutions. So the effort that you are putting in your thought process, if it is negative, you are going to get negative results. Nobody else, no system, no other system is to be blamed except for you. So I could figure out those are the problems. So your mindset is a problem. That is what I established, right? How to deal with this? So all those problems I have put in this 10 categories. This is what will be part of my curriculum. Life decisions, how you take life decisions, work decisions, competition, communication, confidence, colleagues, learning a skill, embarking on a big vision, managing time, fail forward. These are the 10 categories I have figured out from those aspects. This has have nothing to do if at on in the first uh, observation you can see that these are not purely professional reasons. These have something to do with your mindset, whatever is going on at the back of your mind. So I have created the solution as well. So the resourceful influencer blueprint is these 10 things I have put into one gear. Another gear is the smaller gear. Somebody told me that your engine is as good as the smallest gear in your entire system. If the smallest gear is not running, not pulling through, then your bigger engine is not going to run. So what you have to focus is your smallest gear. Here is the smallest gear with our catalyst. So this is a entire pulley system with two gears. The bigger gear with those 10 points, the smaller gear is with four AHA catalyst. So the smallest, if that is what we can rectify along with the bigger thing, we can oil the bigger thing and work towards the smaller gear. Then the entire thing works and you become a formidable engine, leading your life into formidability. You become a super player. So this is, I was sent to Canada in a study tour because of my work. It was a reward. And this is at Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve where I did herbal cultivation. This is a 50-acre land that I have taken and did herbal cultivation in the uh, abundance of that area. It was a food scarce area, and these are some of the pictures of my work and what achievements I have done. This is establishing 239 kiosks under national e-governance schemes in Meghalaya. This is Meghalaya business plan. This was in way back in 2008 to 2010 when there was no utility bill and all. Still, each of the kiosks were earning 5 to 10,000 rupees. So that's the business plan I had designed. And here at Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, it was a food scarce area where people had only 3 months of food to eat. For the rest of the time, they had to depend on the forest. And that forest had tigers. It is a tiger reserve, there was no fence. So usually people were going to the core area and were getting killed by the tiger. So that is where I started my work. I lived in the forest along with those people. If you can see that back of my photograph, there is a forest, and there I mobilized 500 families, formed a federation, and that federation started saving. Other helps started coming, and at the end of the 4 years, we could save 36 lakhs of rupees. So it was like a revolving fund. People were taking, they were not dependent on the banks, they were not dependent on anybody, any outside source. They were, they were, they had 36 lakhs of rupees. An area where it was very illiterate area, very backward area. The ladies were never out of their village. Such a kind of area where at the end of 4 years, these ladies were part of the district governing board headed by the district collector. You know how the transition happened. It happened because of the training and the association and the empathy. Along with them, I lived, right. So you have to be part of that. So I lived in the forest, and along with them, there was no toilet, no bathroom, no water. So I had to manage the way they were managing. And this is mustard cultivation they did, and they broke Madhya Pradesh mustard production record. So people can achieve that much if you are just hand holding and guiding them. And these were the two clusters of ladies who federated into a federation, and they won 17 awards in 4 years. The then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Mr. Narendra Modi, now the Honorable Prime Minister, he has felicitated the farmers from my area. That was way back in 2013. He gave 51,000 cash award. And this is 1.5 lakh cash award won by this lady called Devji. And her motto was Punji is the Punji. Small capital is the key to overcome poverty, was her secret formula. So that has won her the, and see who is the lady. She is an illiterate lady, but she could formulate and develop such expertise, such insight, if somebody handholds them. So they don't lack intelligence, right? Nobody lacks intelligence. Illiterate, she can't, she couldn't write her name. Never went to school. She was widowed when she was just 17 with 5 kids. There was child marriage, you know. From that stage to this stage, how this lady has progressed. Like say she did whatever struggle she did, but when I told her, I trained her, she could absorb it immediately. If I could do this in a pocket within 4 years, then I can, if I do similar thing, I can eradicate the poverty across India, right? But can I do it alone? I have to train people, because it was not done by me alone. I had mobilized 500 families to do it, who were in synergy with me, who who were going in the direction that I was giving them push, because it was creating. When I went there, there was no road. I was just working in the forest only. After 4 years, there were full-fledged road, concrete roads, and the collector was always within 15 days. He used to visit. This is the collector standing in the picture, and this is the then industry minister who felicitated Devti Bai. So these recognition are unique. I didn't think it. I didn't think about it. I didn't know it will happen. I had a vision. I had a dream. And I started small. And I persisted on it. It became big. It became huge. And it became enormous. And such a problem like food scarcity, such a problem which India hasn't been able to eradicate in 70 years after freedom, I could do in 4 years. How? What is the formula? Simple. Persist. I loved when people achieved something. I love training them. I trained them the way they wanted, they could learn. I showed them. I did agriculture. As I said, I'm a postgraduate in mathematics. I didn't have any background in agriculture, HR, anything. But since I loved doing and seeing people being happy, that was my passion. So I followed my passion. That is all I did. And this is a lady, she won Andhra Pradesh Governor's Award, right? Unbelievable, right? So this is what my colleague, he is now in UNDP, he says, uncanny talent to spot talent in others. So that is what I have. That is my superpower, to spot talent in others. This is another person who is a grassroots worker, now CEO in the farmer producer company, which is running in huge profit in the area. These are some of the awards that I won because of my work there. This is my organization won because of the work that we could do. Let us come to the topic of empathy. How, whatever I had done, how I developed empathy for fulfillment, which you can also follow. So why empathy? Because that is the only way you can make difference in your colleague's life, and you being you, you can do that. You don't have to change, still you can make a difference. And why to make a difference? Because you need a team. If you want to be happy, people around have to be happy. So that is the first thing I had in mind. And if the way you are progressing, if your friends are not progressing at the same pace, they will not be happy, right? There will be a factor of comparison. So if I am progressing in one area, they should progress in another area. And if we can force a synergy, nothing like it. That is how the world becomes happier and start working in teams. So this process is 3 practices of empathy to overcome 100 plus unconscious biases. Unconscious biases is something wherein, without knowing enough, we start categorizing people. We start saying people, that person is like that. How much do we need? Do we know about that person before we tell him something? We just like that pass on such kind of comment and take that home. Suppose somebody was behaving, walking very awkwardly, or somebody has just pushed you and just had walked away, and you were annoyed with that person, you were calling names to that person. Do you know what what caused him to be hurried like that? We don't know, right? Still we call names. That is called unconscious biases, and there are 100 plus unconscious biases like that. Whenever your mind goes negative, calling people names without knowing enough why that person has done like that, we never try to find out. Those are the unconscious biases, and that doesn't do any harm to any other people. It harms you yourself, and it blurs your vision. You don't have clarity anymore. So how to overcome that? So this is instinctively categorizing people and things without knowing about them sufficiently, and the flaw in our thinking guided by past experiences, because our past experience is like that. That is why, that is how we assign that particular reason to this person. This person has nothing to do with our past experience. How does the one person who has just pushed you is concerned with your past? He doesn't even know you. So these are the mental preconditioning that we all have, and those unconscious biases usually that impacts our work and our relationship. That is how we behave. Right? How to deal with our biases is, the first thing is recognize that they exist. If you say that I am pura 100% दूध का धुला, then तो it will not happen. So you have to accept that you have just now you have thought wrongly about another person because that person has done something wrong. Well, he has done wrong. What about you? You didn't do any wrong, na? But you thought something wrong about that person. Isn't that something wrong? So he did wrong. You think wrong. Both are similar, right? So, but we don't give ourselves that responsibility. We don't think we did something wrong, right? So recognize that first. Be mindful of your words and actions. Even if you are not saying something, you are saying inside your mind. You are annoyed. Your body shows that you are angry. Mindful of that. When you are angry, you are destroying your energy. So if you destroy your energy, who will be benefited or say who will be suffering? You yourself, right? Not the other person. So be mindful of it. Second is sorry, think critically. Look at problems as a diamond with multiple facets and not as a coin with only two sides. What does this mean? This means there is no black and white thing in this world. There are gray areas. And even there are angles to everything that is happening. We cannot know about the other person unless we engage with that person. So think about different aspects because you are exposed to the world. You have studied, you know so many people with your experience. With that experience, you have might have come across such kind of experiences where there are different reasons behind anything that is happening. So think critically that one of those kind of thinking might have happened and challenge assumptions and traditions. Whatever your mind is interpreting because of your traditional thought process, challenge that. Are you thinking correctly? Ask that question. And this is what practicing empathy is. The second is mindset continuum. Another ways to train your mind how to think differently. Change the changeable, accept the unchangeable, and remove yourself from the unacceptable. What does this mean? If you can change something, don't creep about this thing now. If you can change, it is not acceptable to you. And if you can do something about that, do immediately take action. If you cannot do anything about it, then why grieving? What good is in grieving? You will destroy your energy in any case. So stop grieving. And if you cannot be in that situation at all, then remove yourself. Go to some other. Like say, this is not your mahfil. You go to some other place. Sometimes what happens is the universe gives you some nudges. Suppose you are compromising at one place because this is you have developed a comfort zone in this place. So even if there is some discomfort you are not feeling exactly 100% here, still because of those comfort zone you are getting salary in time. You are no you are comfortable, like say your office is nearby. You can save time, you can go to movie. All these things are happening. That is why the problem that is happening in your life, which is unbearable at times, still you are here because of that comfort level. Now the universe does what? It will give you more problem if you are not meant to be here. You won't go unless you have some problem which you cannot bear anymore. So the problems will become bigger. So the moment this happens in your life, whatever you are doing, know for sure that this particular place is not meant for you. You are meant for a better place. So don't worry or creep about the problems that are happening around. You see the insight of the universe. It is nudging you to move forward. Have you ever thought about this? This is a mindset issue challenge that I give you. You can have results or excuses, not both. So this is what. Even if you are craving and still you are there, because you will give excuses that I'm comfortable here, yeah. Everything is there nearby. My children are here in the nearby schools. I'm getting salary in time. So these are all excuses because of which you are not moving. So those are excuses. Now, what result do you want actually? Back of your mind. You want a better place where you will be respected. You will have peace of mind. You will have a place where you can exploit your talents. That is what you want exactly. Are you getting those results? You are not getting. So, if you give yourself excuses, those results will not be found. So, results and excuses will not coexist at any given point of time. So, whenever those things are happening, give yourself that clarity whether you want your results or it is okay to live with those excuses. Achievements and results are not the same. This is another point I give you to think of. Dealing challenges with goal setting. So, goal setting is what I uh, teach. Goal setting is simple. What to teach, you may ask. But if it is so simple, do you have a goal? You don't have, right? Most or 90% of people don't have a goal. If I, because you are listening to me here, and afterwards you can set a goal, then you will ask, why do you teach goal setting? Because you told, I have already set a goal. I challenge you. You will not set a goal. Even if you set a goal for you, you will not persist with it for 90 days. I challenge you. That is what goal setting is. It is about gathering some factual points about what goal to set, right? What goal to set? How do you know which goal to set? So gather some factual points. Your individual perspective, bring in your individual perspective, and then design your goals. Like in the next 90 days, I have to train, say, 100 people in this. Or another goal is like, say, in office, I'll create, say, 1 crore of funding for my organization. And because I have set that goal, it has started happening because I start working, no? Because when you set a goal, what is expected of you? You start working towards that direction, no? When you start working in that direction, you fail 10 times maybe. It will not start happening immediately. But after 10 times, each time you fail, you learn something, right? You learn and you improve. Unless you set a goal, you will not learn. You don't know what action to take. There is no question of failure, so no question of learning. No question of learning, no question of progress. No question of progress, no result, no achievement. As simple as that. So engaging with others to improve. How? Here is how. Show you care. This is all in line with the empathy. So in your mind, how is your mind? Do you care? Do you appreciate? Do you learn what is working? Do you give yourself chance to improve? And there is a quiz. 1 minute paper. Start, stop, continue. Simple survey. What does this mean? You can create a quiz, right, about your workplace. A simple quiz, like say 2 questions quiz. Can you do that? You ask 2 questions to your colleagues every day and give them 1 minute to answer. So in a paper, they will write something. 1 minute. After 1 minute, they have to stop. So start now, stop after 1 minute. Then, if they are not finished, then continue. Then again, you give them that start stop thing. For how much time they are taking, you have to see. And then, people, if there are 2 people, 10 people, 20 people, how many people are there in your team? Just see, observe how much time they are taking to answer this simple survey. Every day you ask 2 questions, any random questions. You will see, you will ask some question which is the answer of which is very relevant to you. That is why you are asking, right? Otherwise, people will say that this person asked like say absurd questions. Yeah, why to do? So if you ask with some purpose, then those people will also appreciate. And people who are taking lot of time, there is a symptom of decision making issues also within them, because there are 10 things coming to their mind for one question, which to write, that will take them 5 minutes. So if you give 1 minute, those people will get confused कि ये 1 minute में लिखना क्या है, which one to write, that will take entire time. By the time you say stop, they have written nothing. So you will enjoy this kind of team game if you can do. But this, in the process, you will see that your mind has become caring. You will be appreciative of their dilemma, because the similar dilemma might be happening in your mind also. You might also be taking time to decide which one to focus. So it is not them only, it is you. So you feel like say friends, like say friendly with that person, camaraderie with that person. So that way bonding happens. Whatever happens in your mind, it shows. And when it shows, the other person appreciates, and then bonding with that person happens. Once bonding with one person happens, that person who might be very friendly with another person, your bonding starts happening. So that is the way you start forging bonding with your teams. Topic 3 is humility towards infallible bonding. Yesterday also I talk about this. So humility is the thing. So how many times you say I am sorry for your mistakes? Do you say? How many times you say thank you in your day? Just observe that. How many times do you say I appreciate you? So I am sorry, you admit mistakes. I appreciate you. You appreciate what other people are doing for you or for them, or making your thing easier. And thank you. You are grateful for whatever they have done for you. This is the first mindset. Second is listen to understand. Simon Sinek says, in a team gathering meeting, you should be the last person to speak. So what will happen in the process? What happens will be, I say you will have the advantage of listening to all other people. So whatever you mindset or idea you had initially, you will add, you will know that other people are thinking very different to the same idea. So you will know different perspectives. That is the advantage number one. Second advantage is, when you agree with somebody, don't nod your head, because when you don't, you nod, everybody is watching you. They will know that you are with that particular person, and they will think that you are not with other people. You know, you don't have to give away that mindset, that clue about you. Of course, you didn't know about the other perspective, or you don't agree to all that things those are being said, but these are all new ideas to you. You must appreciate that. And the perspective seed again, you see, if you are watching from the land, if you are standing on the land, then there is a boat you are looking at. And if you are in the boat, then you are looking at the land, right? You are the same person. Once you are on the land, then you will look at the boat in the water. If you are in the water, at the land, at the long distance, you will see the land. Anything wrong with this? Both are true, right? It depends where you stand. So be the last person to speak and try to appreciate where the other people are standing. If they are standing at the same side as you, they will say what you are thinking. But if they are standing at the other side, they will say the opposite, but it is never the other thing. It is the same thing. People are standing at different points. Know that, appreciate that. Give space. So here, the earth is giving space to the seed to grow. Unless you make mistake, you cannot learn and you cannot grow. So give space for those mistakes as well. And wait with patience. Allow people to transform from caterpillar to a butterfly. That takes time. Allow them to fly. So these are the space giving ideas. Have an open mind. Whatever discoveries you are making, whatever possibilities are presented to you, whatever opportunities you are seeing, whatever success or failures you are seeing, see the opposite is always there. Happenings, it will come with discoveries. New knowledge, it will bring possibilities. Problems always come with opportunities. Failures always come with success. If only you have an open mind about all this and embrace differences. The other person will never be 100% like you because you are born unique, that person is born unique. Both of you born unique, how can you both be similar? So you have to accept that there will be differences, bhai. So respect, accept, and coexist with those kind of differences. This is part of humility, and this is a very interesting picture. What I say is every success, if it is not happening at the moment, look at the beads in this picture. There are several beads, you know. The entire picture conveys you some meaning with all those beads arranged at a particular sequence. So if you take out say 10 beads out of this, will it look like the same as it is right now? So your success will not be the same if you haven't put enough beads into it in a particular manner. Can you understand that? So each success is a bead. So bead by bead, if you uh, say figure out your success, then what happens is with each bead you will create success, and then one day the entire success will happen. It is in the context of that 90 days goal. You have a bigger vision, then you bring it to the 90 days goal because you will start doing something, right? So start doing what? For that bigger vision, the entire picture. Your 90 days goal is one bid of it. So achieve that bid in 90 days or 10 bids in 90 days and then move on to achieve another 10 in the next 90 days. That is how you progress, right? Demonstrate patience. As already I have told you, this takes different uh, stages. From the pupa stage, it becomes from the first it is an egg, then it becomes a pupa, then it becomes a caterpillar, then it goes to the cocoon and ultimately comes out as a butterfly. So this entire thing, one person from an egg to a butterfly, he or she is unrecognizable at each stage. So wait till that person transforms. What is learning after all? Learning is transformation from one point. If you are at this point, you transform to another stage. That is what transformation is. And that is the real learning. So for that, you need to have patience. That is part of humility again. And take ownership. Admit, apologize, accept, and adapt. This already we have discussed, but this is a very important thing. Like say how you sell yourself, how you put yourself to the world, right? Subtle assertion, you have to be assertive but not arrogant. How you will not be arrogant? If you have strong conviction. Conviction about what you are doing or you have done. Obsession around what you need to do. Orientation, like say when you are speaking, the other person in his mindset, he will bit by bit, he is getting transformed. That is what subliminal in his subconscious mind. That is what subliminal orientation is. You plant seed of your idea into that head. That is how you sell, right? And you should not be saying something very different than what the other person is saying. You have to synergize that conversation with whatever he is saying. Even if you, I have seen people who are very adept at selling, they will be saying completely different thing, but in the same language as the other person is saying, and he sells. So this is how you can convince, and this is part of influencing also. Influencing is selling, and that happens with strategic positioning. The more mature you are, the more learned you are, the more wise you are, the better strategic positioning you will have, right? And this is one of my success story. So this is my second rank colleague, and she joined as an executive, but she transformed into HR manager now, and she is handling the same portfolio I was handling when I was HR head. Right? So she has transformed and she is on her way to progress. That is what I do. And this is the Naxal area, Khuti, Jharkhand, where I revived the watershed project. And time to have depth. Whatever I have done so far. This is now I am integrating into climate resilience, agriculture, climate solar adoption, affordable housing, and climate resilience agriculture. All those things, whatever I have done so far, I am integrating them into one to achieve the SDG goal. Two SDG goals are there. One goal number one is zero hunger, is eradication. Both are similar, and all the SDG goals, incidentally, are corollary of one to other. So about 6 to 8 SDG goals I am working on. All those are segments of one bigger thing. So the bigger thing that I am working is 9 crore affordable housing. So housing for all is the government scheme, and what is not working there is where I am working so that I will make it happen. So I did this 11 farmer producer organization in Sikkim in 3 months. One farmer producer organization takes about 1.5 years. I could do 11 in 3 months. So that is part of the intensification, integration of whatever learning I have so far. And available housing, always I told, this is clean energy and solar energy. And this is Professor Muhammad Yunus, Nobel laureate, with whom I am working with small enterprises to build wealth. And this is I am now influencing the policymakers. And this is my digital mentor, his mentor, and I am on my digital journey now. I am whatever I have done so far, whatever I have done so far. Now I am going to give the same training online in a digital manner. So I have 12 mentors, and he is Blair Singer, the mentor of my mentors, all those 12 mentors. And Robert Kiyosaki, if you have heard, he is the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. He is his coach also. And these are few testimonials of my online students where they have appreciated the way I have taught them something or help them grow into another person. This has been my credentials, and He is known as the father of microfinance in India, and he has given me a very wide compliment about being resourceful at difficult or any other platform, wherever I am. These are few testimonials, and here is my conclusion. What I teach is a six bundle course wherein I teach whatever I have just taught. It is about leadership growth and supplemented by six bonuses, which are about internal patterns, how you power up within, mindfulness, how you can take energy from your soul, process versus result, how you can continuously upgrade yourself. You need your mindset to be with you to do these upgrades. And delegate appropriate, this is about mentoring. Joypreneurship is your next level, where you will integrate and intensify whatever you have learned so far along with your job. Joy is what you love to. You are doing what you love. That is what we will discover. If you want a digital skill, that is what I'll be teaching. In digital skill, you can be a coach like me, or you can become a service provider wherein you can do Facebook advertising, you can do landing page design, whatever you want. We can learn that together. And the practice ebooks, sometimes back, one of the students told me that these are all very theories. I am telling all the theories. So he was very impatient to theories. So he wanted some practice books. So I have developed some practice ebooks which are very different for different. He wanted for procrastination. So already I have designed that. I might share with whoever is attending my webinars in my emails sometimes. And if you are part of my VIP group already, it might be posted there sometime. Or you can ask directly about whatever practice books you require. And a few of them are here, like your self-image, legacy documents. It has to be that exercise, right? From childhood to today, whatever you have done, achieved, you need to know that you have achieved that, but you don't trust that you have achieved. Those are legacy documents. This is a dream tracker I have made for myself, and my big vision of training 1 lakh super performing global players will be done by March 28th. Not necessarily in this manner, but this is an outline of my dream tracker, because whatever you dream, you have to put on paper. It might not happen the same way that you have visualized, but it will happen somehow. That you don't have to worry. You have to worry about your goal and what action you are taking right now. That is important and that is in your control, right? Then that vision, that big vision that you have, that might not be achievable right now with this version, but if you are improving every day little by little, then someday your version will take a jump and your ultimate version might achieve that vision. We never know how that version is achieved. Again, action and goal setting. Set your goal, work towards it. So there are 5 description books out here. Having an edge is creative advantage. How your strength can be outlined. Relooping self. Your esteemed highness, again I am addressing you. You are, like say, really powerful, very regal, very royal, very unique. But do you know that? So how you draft that? That is in sixth enforcing habit practice in these practice books. This is a curative excellence, which is excellence in you. Like say, which aspect of you? There are so many aspects about you. Which one you can take into an excellent situation? For in this course, like say, it is all about mindset. Where you set your mind, your energy will go. Your energy will flow towards that, and you will conquer that one. So whatever dominant thought inside, going inside you, will happen for sure. So think where your thoughts are going. My thoughts, your thoughts will be very different. My dominant thoughts will be something else, your dominant thoughts will be something else. Whatever that may be, you are made for that. It will be very different from the other person, but you are made for that. If that is so, then you should know what is that, right? So that will make you stand out in a crowd. As I said always, it is consistency which matters when you are climbing the ladder. All those big projects that I have done, that was as a result of consistency. I never thought I would do, I'll end up doing such big projects. Journaling, as I said, it is very essential to be reflective. Whatever you have learned, whatever you have done today, whatever action you have taken, that has to be journaled. It has to be just 5 lines, 5 or 10 lines, right? But every day you will take some action around some area. So that is like say nothing. That will be unprecedented, right? You have to be a person of non-precedence. Nobody before you or after you will be the same person as you are. So you have to be on the move, and it has to be journaled. Growing beyond, if you can document your daily wins, then only you will be growing. That is how you will progress, right? Creating opportunities for you. Deep learning, sensibility, wellness, all those are towards that miraculous mindset that we are talking about. Uh, This is the topic of this particular webinar was empathy. So I spoke about empathy. Empathy is part of that miraculous mindset. So in the next webinar, we might be dealing with something. I have already given the webinar ideas. So that will be the topic that time. So these are the few topics. We spoke about this last time also. This is about crucial crisis. So you have to think about this crisis which you can avert if you are doing it at the perfect time. If in that Titanic ship, if those people would have seen that iceberg just 5 minutes earlier, they could have taken the ship to a different angle, and that accident would have been averted. But it was not to be, right? So they tried, if you have seen that movie, they tried frantically, but it could be moved only a little. By that time, the iceberg came and hit it, right? So it is that crucial crisis and how to be prepared for it. Intrigue. It is like say always, every day we are intrigued by several ideas. Those might be very negative, might be very positive. But if those are positive, you need to be careful about those five. Attuned, tuning into your leadership. You are a leader. I presume that you are a leader. And even if you are not a boss, still you are a leader. One can be a leader, according to Stephen Covey, if someone is taking responsibility at each stage. So, no matter where you are, if you are taking responsibility, you are a different kind of person. Self assessment, of course, you need to do it all the time because the mind tends to get negative easily. That is the reptilian brain, which actually is responsible for our survival. It acts always. It acts positive, gives you positive vibrations once you start taking risk. Unless you start taking risk, you are not going to achieve any result, right? So, in order to smother that reptilian brain and allow your executive brain to take over, you need to do self assessment each time, every day, or every week, whatever time you decide, you have to take that. Strategic mentoring, you mentor and get mentored. It has to be a continuous process. You are never a guru, you are a lifelong learner. You always need to learn. That is why my mentors were learning from another mentor. Another mentor is learning from another mentor. And unless I learn, I cannot teach. Whatever they were teaching, I am teaching. Right? So it is a lifelong learning. Spontaneity, skill lethargy. And when you are in a team, you cannot afford to be lethargic. For yourself, you can be lethargic, but not with a team. And overcome victimhood, taking responsibility. As I said, whoever is taking responsibility is a very different kind of person. So victimhood is what? Because of that circumstances, I did like that. My situation is so because of him, because of that person, because of that situation. This is what victimhood is. If you start taking responsibility, see where you were responsible for your situation. Even if you are 3% responsible, take a look at that 3% responsibility. Tweak that. You will be a different person. Attitude shift, turn towards light. Many people are always dark, always thinking negative. So turn towards light and your shadow will disappear. Body capacity is work-life balance, expectation aligned, to think beyond, because all of us, most of us, actually are very we try to confirm whatever is happening, let it happen, and that is the way our life should go because we are comfortable. We confirm what other people are doing, saying, we do the same. That is what mediocrity is. But and you are stuck might be because you are in the company of another mediocre person. A person who cannot think big is a mediocre person. So if you are not able to think beyond your whatever you are thinking, then at least learn one skill. Which skill is that? Do you know which skill is that? You need to look, you need to find out, figure out, right? Phoenix is emotional responsiveness. See, people are pointing fingers at you. How do you respond? Are you angry? Or are you in your executive presence? You just duck whatever they say. Have you seen how a bouncer is docked? Bouncer is coming at a phenomenal speed, at the same length, same height as your head. What should you do? You have to duck, right? Let the ball go over your head. So if you are not able to time your stroke, if you can time your stroke, then it will go for a six. But if you are a little delayed, a nanosecond delay, then you should duck because otherwise it will hit your head, right? So, and this is about also being thick skinned. What others are saying is none of your business. Let them say, let them point finger at you. That is their botheration. Na? You do what you should do. Inner jab is like, say, there are three people inside you. The consultant, which always advises you, the senator who takes a decision on your behalf, and the critic always criticizes you. So, if you balance all these people within you, you are the person. If you have to balance, if the critic overpowers you, you will not be able to take any action at all. If the senator takes a decision making, then you are impulsive. You take certain decisions without even thinking. The consultant is if the consultant is very proactive, then it will help. It will make you like say procrastinate. It will ask you to think, analyze, and then you will be paralyzed, right? So there has to be a balance between equality, inclusion, and empathy. This is also with regard to your team members. You don't have to judge much. Uh, Treat the other person as the same as you are. Inclusion, include no matter what. The other person is very different. So what? Include in your team. You will get a better perspective. Empathy is accept the other person as different. That is the leadership posture. Different decision, process focus. Accommodative decision making. You are standing somewhere, there are 5 ways to go. 5 people are in your team, 5 people are saying 5 different things. Which path to take? That is the decision making that I am talking about. So if you are process focused, what is your imminent path, imminent goal, imminent objective? That one, if you can decide, you will take accordingly. All the paths are will look very justified otherwise. Yardstick, hint from the environment. If you are not able to, you are totally at loss about what action should you take, then take the hint from the universe, assign something. Like I assign. Suppose I see 666 in a car plate. Car plate number is 666 today. Then this is the direction I will take. That is how I take the hint from the universe. Or suppose I am talking to somebody. If I hear this particular word today, then that will be my decision. That is how you take a hint from the universe. If you start taking hint and if you start reading about how people have taken hint from the universe, then if you Google that, you will get like say lot of instances how people have taken that. So be responsible towards that, right? And the complete offer stack is the flagship course is at 59,994 and the practice books are each is $47, which makes it a total of 1,70,000. And if you buy in 15 minutes time or today, it is webinar's price 5,999 only. So this is all for today. I'll wait for you to reach out to me for this thing. Thank you very much.
Hi, Sangeeta.
Hi, Satish.
Sangeeta, you had sent me personality development test link.
Yeah.
Think that I can take it in my free time tomorrow.
Have you tested that?
No, not at Sangeeta.
So test that now first.
Yeah, can you please reshare that link, please?
What happened last time?
I'm not able to find that link.
So I told you now whether you have taken that link or not. I have to open that one today. I'll send you in the email then. Right?
Yes, that will be helpful, Sangeeta.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And also, Sangeeta, I did not find your contact details.
Are you receiving my emails?
Yes, I'm receiving your emails, but I'm not able to see the contact details in the regards.
Why? If any mail you can check. There is my mobile number is given below.
Okay, I'll recheck once again.
Yeah, yeah. Be mindful. I think you are very dispersed. No, your mind is here, there, everywhere, spread out. So if you focus on that mails, then it is there. 2 mails at least I have sent in which my contact number is there.
Yes. I receive 2-3 emails in a day.
Whichever
Yes, I'll just recheck once.
whichever emails you have received from barshayananda@gmail.com, Gmail email, then that will have my contact details.
Thank
Anything
you, sir.
you want to discuss about? Like what? Why do you want my contact details? Just tell me so that.
Okay. So seeing your slide in the achievements, so what more I can gain out of it? I need to ask these questions to you.
So whatever you get, no, that all I have discussed, right?
Okay.
Whatever you all that you get, that is all there in my PPT. So
Okay.
if
Sure.
that doesn't convince you, na, so don't
Sure.
go for it. That is what I'm saying. No amount of explanation will convince you that this is right for you, unless you feel inside intuitively that this is for you. And you need to take a risk towards learning, right? It is
Yes.
not a huge amount that you will lose a fortune. So if you don't take that risk now, you will not appreciate the course as well. So that is why I am not asking you to enroll anymore, right? So that is the initial. That is why your personality test is very essential. If there is a element of suspicion pronounced, then it will take you,
Yan ang pagkaitan tiya.
it will take you more time to be clear, right? That clarity mindset will not come to you unless you are proactively surrendering to the mentor, right? So unless you surrender, it will not happen. So this, I'm afraid. So yeah,
Thank you very much, Nandita. Have a nice day.